Hi, welcome to another Make It Monday. I'm Jennifer Ellipson, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own spray mists. We're going to start off by using a small spray bottle. This is a mini mister from Ranger Ink, and also going to use a Spring Rain re-inker. I'm just going to pour some in here. I don't measure very precisely. I just put a fair amount in there. Would like a little bit more. And now I'm going to add some perfect pearls, and you don't need to do this. This just adds a little bit of shimmer to your project. This is an old stamping standby. It's powder and it's just really shimmery and sparkly. I'll be adding it to the other parts of my project today too. But here I'm just using the end of the paintbrush to kind of scoop it in. 3 or 4 scoops is usually sufficient for a small bottle like this. I'm just going to put that aside since it is a powder. Close it up before any accidents. Now I'm going to add some water to this. I'm just going to fill up the bottle with it. I'm going to replace the screw top on it. Put the cap on. And just shake away. One thing I like to use is a microfiber cloth. I just get these at Costco, and I keep one for all my inky messes. It's a great way to wipe things out. This is an A2 card base of Stamper Select White. You see how it's pretty well mixed up. It's really blue now. I'm just going to spray the card front to get it wet. You can see a little blue sheen to it, and it's just the combination of the re-inker with the perfect pearls. It looks almost a little too wet, so I'm just going to blot this off slightly and put that aside. So now I'm going to pull out my Cuttlebug, and what we're going to do is use this with impression plates. A lot of times when you mist your cardstock with our impression plates, it gives a crisper, almost more deep impression. I'm going to use the sheet music impression plate, and I'd like to use it on the landscape side. So I'm going to put that down, and I put my A plate and then my impression plate, paper, vanilla matte, and tan matte. And now I'm going to add 2 B plates. I find that this combination tends to keep my impression plate from bowing, so it's just a thicker, well, not thicker, but just more compact sandwich. So there you have it. You can see some of the blue hue on that, and also how it's a little bit crisper than you may get without it. So I'm just going to set my Cuttlebug aside here and grab my bone folder. Look at that blue hue on that. I love that. So it's still really damp. I'm going to give it a bit of a head start on the drying with my heat tool. And just make sure that edge is nice and folded. Okay, now I'm going to show you a nice trick with the Parisian lace doily die, and pulling out my Cuttlebug again. You'll see I start with my A plate, and I like to use printer paper, just text weight paper. Sometimes if you have a piece of computer paper that doesn't print the entire sheet, you can just cut it in half and use that portion. So I'm adding my B plate that I cut into, my paper, 2 sheets, blade side down with the die, add the metal shim, and oops, wrong plate. I'm going to stick in the C plate instead of the B plate, sorry. And then just send that through. Now because this is text weight paper, you can easily cut 2 layers, which is really nice with this die because then you'll have one to keep for another project. Also notice I keep a piece of blue masking tape on my machine. I roll it up so I can just slide my finger into it. Put that one aside for later. And pull this one up. The blue tape, you can reuse it several times, so I just put it right back onto my machine. Oh, right there you'll see some parts that didn't get popped out completely. So I'm going to pull out the punch out tool. I get a lot of questions on this from customers. This is a great tool. You just line up your die onto the piece of paper and rub your fingers over it, and the pieces come out because of the resistance. It's a fantastic tool. Okay, I'm just going to put this away now. And one of my new favorite go-to dies are the angled labels. So to save a little time here, I pre-cut a piece with angled labels A from Stamper Select White, and using my Spring Rain ink and my sheet music stamps, I'm just going to stamp it up onto that die cut piece. We get a lot of questions about the inks that we use during these videos. This is the second generation of Spring Rain ink. It's the hybrid that's more like a pigment, a little bit thicker. So I'm just going to line that so that most areas are stamped. And back with the Perfect Pearls. Sometimes you can get these in sets with paintbrushes. This is the smaller paintbrush that you apply the Perfect Pearls with. Now, because the ink is a thicker ink and it takes a little while longer to dry, it's grabbing this Perfect Pearls without any problem whatsoever. It's just going to grab it and hold on to it. There are binding agents in the Perfect Pearls, and between that and the ink, there's no need for a fixative. This is just the looser brush that sometimes comes with these sets to wipe off the excess. I'm just going to take my microfiber cloth and wipe this off. This is a Teflon sheet that I like to stamp on. Now I'm going to grab the matching stamp from Label Basics, ink it up with some Versamark, and ink the edges. This particular stamp set is designed to stamp off the edge of this die, so don't worry about that. That's how they're meant to be. I'm going to add some silver embossing powder. And just get that excess off and onto the frame. You don't have to worry about it sticking to the Perfect Pearls. It won't. It's just a really neat combination to do this. So scrape up some for the edges, and you can also push it out of the way a little bit. And then you're ready to heat emboss. And since that's about as exciting as watching paint dry, I'm just going to fast forward to the end here. And you'll see the lovely silver frame that we get with that. It's a really nice combination with the Perfect Pearls and the Spring Rain ink. Get the Teflon sheet out of the way and bring my Cuttlebug back out. And what I'd like to do is use the butterfly die to cut the center of this angled label die. So we'll be creating a little bit of a window. Place it in the center, so I like to put it blade side down so that I can see the placement a bit better. And my C-plate, and send that through. And this is what the result is. And also, in the interest of time, I pre-cut an angled label A from Spring Rain cardstock. What I'm going to do here is just overlay this to get some positioning in place. And then I'm going to take the With Sympathy stamp from Mega Mix Messages and stamp it with Versamark. And I'm going to stamp it right through that window I created, just lining it up to where I want it. Great. I'm going to lift this off, and I'm going to add a little bit more perfect pearls. Same way as I did last time, and Versamark holds it just the way that our pigment hybrid does too. You can brush the excess off. You can put it back in the jar if you want, or get rid of it, however you want to do it. And you see that nice pearly look there. I'm just going to wipe off the excess, and it'll stay where the Versamark is. Looks great. So now, time for final assembly. I'm just going to add some adhesive to the white angled layer. Line that up. Perfect. Look at that shine. It's so pearly and beautiful. I love it. So here's the card base we created at first. We're going to add that doily, and it's really pretty authentic looking because I did it on the text weight paper. Center that, and adhere this. And the end result is an understated and elegant card that is just the right amount of detail thanks to the spray mist that you created. I'm going to quickly round these bottom corners. And there it is, your finished project. And here's what it looks like in the sunshine. You can see that beautiful shimmer, and it's just a really elegant card. Thanks for joining me on Make It Monday today. Love to see what you create with your spray mists.